All right, hey guys. So we're on lesson 2 of unit 4.1. We're continuing with scatter plots a little bit. This one is talking about a residual. So to kind of explain this, let me just show you kind of visually real quick before I get into the definitions. So let's say we have a graph with a bunch of points just like that. And I go ahead and make a line of best fit. So it's somewhere around there, right? It's going up. There's a pattern to it. So what a residual is the distance, the vertical up and down distance between our line of best fit and this point right here. So it's this right here. It's going to be the distance from here to this point right here. So, and that's, for as many data points as you have. So to kind of go over some of the definitions and the actual examples in this lesson. So with the residuals, some lines will fit a data set better than others. One way to evaluate how well a line of best fit, one way to evaluate how well a line fits a data set is to use a residual, which, like we just went over, is a vertical distance between the point and the line of best fit. So the points on the line represent the predicted. So this guy right here is what we predict as we continue up, but then each point is the actual value. There's kind of an equation for finding the residual, and it's like a two-part step you'll see in the example. To find the residual, we're going to take the actual value, this guy right here, and subtract the predicted value. Now, if we look up here, we see that E and G are above the line, whereas F and H are below the line. So if there's something that there is above the line, that would mean that it's a bigger actual than the predicted, right? So if I take a bigger number and subtract a smaller number, we're going to get positive. Now these lines underneath these points, if we take the actual, which is this guy, which is less than the predicted, if I take a smaller number and subtract a bigger number, I get into the negative. All right, so this one I kind of filled out already, but I'm going to show the process that I found, that I used to find all of this predicted value and the residual. So like I said, it's a two-step process. In order to find the residual, we need to find the predicted. And we can only do that if there is an equation. And notice right here, it gives you an equation. It's going to look like y equals mx plus b for a linear function. This is our slope, this is our input, and this is our y-intercept, which is right, around there. So here's what I did. For step one, we calculated the predicted value by substituting the value of x into that equation. So right here, step one, y is equal to negative 0.5759 x plus 6.3635. I plugged in my value of x, 0. This becomes 0. I add this number and I get this, which is why my predicted based on that equation is this guy right here. Then I went ahead and did that for each one. So, you're going to plug in 1.7, you're going to plug in 4, 6, 8, and 11. Do the equation and get these numbers here. To find the residual, which is the goal, we're going to take the actual value and subtract the predicted. So this is our predicted, and this is our actual, right? So let me write that real quick. Actual. So, this, our y, our output, when x is 0, should be 7.8. But because the prediction is a little off, that's where we get the difference. So here I took 7.8, I subtracted the number that I found here, the predicted, and I got 1.4365. So basically, it means that it is actually going to be above the line and it's going to be about that close, 1.4365 units away. So it's really not that far away. Just to show one more example, I didn't do all of these. If you guys want to try it yourself, feel free. The linear regression equation is fitted to the scatter plot. Calculate the residual. So I have my equation. I have my inputs. So step one, we're going to find the predicted value. Y is equal to negative 0.3252 x plus 21.455. My first input is 17, so I plug a 17 in here. I multiply these two numbers, and then I add it to this number, and I'm going to get 15.93, which is right here. Step two, we're going to find the residual by taking the actual and predicted and subtract them. So here, this was my actual value. I take 15, I subtract 15.93, and I get negative 0.93. And that is my residual. That's going to be what it's asking you for. So that's really it, guys. There's a Khan Academy going on this, and that's about it. Thanks.